So now we're going to get to domain and range as it pertains to a graph. So we're going to define some words here first. So what we have is oop, that pen's dead. I'm sad. So what we have is the domain. The domain is essentially, it's a set of all the values of x, or less officially, all the value, we could maybe say all the values x can be. And then the second word we're going to define is going to be range. And range is going to be a set of all the values of y, or similarly, all the values y can be. Okay, so let's see this in action. We have a graph over here. When you see an arrow at the end, the arrow means that it's going on forever. So it's infinitely going this way and infinitely going this way. So the domain, so what are all the values of x? X is going to be 0 and 1 and 2, that was 0, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, but it's also going to be 2.9 and 2.8 and 2.7, right? And in fact, like, how many values does it cover between 2 and 3? And the answer is an infinite number of values. So we're going to have to describe it. So we're going to say it's all the possible values. And what's that going to be? We're going to say that x is an element of real numbers. The range is all the values of y, and it goes from minus infinity to plus infinity. So similarly, y is an element of real numbers. And there we go. That's a line. So this is kind of like our example 2, we'll say. This is a parabola. And the domain, if you think about it, this line continues. So it goes on. It's going to be continuously forever going outwards and forever going this way. So it's going to go from minus infinity to positive infinity. So the domain of the parabola is the set of all the values. It's going to cover all the possible values of x. So x is an element of real numbers. Now the range, on the other hand, though, so this was at minus 20. Now it's going to go higher, so it continuously goes upwards until infinity, forever. But it never actually gets to minus 21. The lowest it gets to is minus 20. So in English, what I would say is the range, it must be bigger than or equal to minus 20. So y is an element of real numbers, given that y is bigger than or equal to negative 20. Example 3. So what we have over here, it's kind of a tipped over parabola. Oop. What I meant is for there to be arrows on the end here, because I want it to continue going on forever. So that goes, so it's going to be constantly spreading out. It's going to cover all the values of y. But the domain, it has to be bigger than, the most negative it gets is negative 2. It's bigger than or equal to negative 2. So the domain is x is an element of real numbers, given that, but x has to be bigger than or equal to negative 2. The range, and the range, as I said, it goes from minus infinity. It's going to get down to anything. It's going to go up to anything. The range is all real numbers.